Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I am so happy you are here today. Find a quiet place, take a slow breath, and let us travel back in time together. Today, we will listen to the true story of volleyball. It is a story about a simple ball, a high net, and a game that began in one small gym, but later traveled all around the world. Our story begins in the year 1895, in a city called Holyoke, in Massachusetts, in the United States. It was winter. The air was cold outside, but inside a gym at the Young Men's Christian Association, people wanted to move. They wanted to exercise. They wanted to play. And one young teacher was thinking deeply about a new game. His name was William George Morgan. He was only 25 years old. He worked as a physical education teacher. This means he helped people make their bodies stronger and healthier. Morgan liked sports. He liked movement, but he saw a problem. Basketball was already popular. It was fast. It was exciting. But for some people, basketball was too hard, too rough, and too tiring. Morgan wanted to make a different game. He wanted a game that many people could enjoy. Young people could play it. Older people could play it. Strong players could play it. New players could play it too. The game needed energy, but not too much contact. It needed skill, but it also needed fun. So Morgan began to think. He looked at other games. He thought about basketball. He thought about tennis. He thought about handball. He thought about badminton. In badminton, players hit something over a net. Morgan liked that idea. A net could keep the players apart, so there would be less pushing, less falling, and less danger. One day, Morgan took a net. He placed it high across the gym. Then he took a ball. At first, the ball was not perfect. Some balls were too heavy. Some balls were too light, but Morgan kept trying. He wanted a ball that could fly softly through the air. He wanted players to hit it with their hands and keep it moving over the net. At first, Morgan called his new game Mintonette. The name came from badminton, because the two games had something in common. A net stood in the middle. The ball or object went from one side to the other. But very soon, people noticed something important. The most special part of the game was not the name, it was the action. Players were volleying the ball. They were hitting it before it touched the ground. In 1896, Morgan showed the game to other sports teachers. They watched carefully. The ball went up. The ball went over the net. The players moved together. They called to each other. They tried to keep the ball alive. One man named Alfred Halstead saw the action and gave a simple idea. He said the game should be called volleyball because the players volleyed the ball, and the name stayed. Think about that moment for a second. A new word was born: volleyball. It was not a rich king's game. It was not made in a palace. It was not made for one country only. It was made in a simple gym, by a teacher who wanted people to enjoy healthy movement. That is a beautiful beginning. In the first years, volleyball was very different from the game we know today. The rules were still changing. The number of players could be different. The ball could be hit many times. The game did not yet have the clean rhythm we know now, but the main idea was already there. Keep the ball in the air. Send it over the net, help your team, and do not let it fall. Slowly, the game began to travel. The Young Men's Christian Association had centers in many places. Teachers and workers moved from city to city, and from country to country. They carried the new game with them. Volleyball did not need expensive equipment. It needed a ball, a net, and people ready to play. This made it easy to share. Soon, Volleyball reached Canada. Then it moved to other countries. It traveled across oceans. It reached Asia. It reached Europe. It reached South America. In each new place, people played it in their own way. But everywhere, the sound was similar. Hands hitting the ball, shoes moving on the floor, voices calling, and friends laughing together. There is something special about volleyball. A player cannot hold the ball for a long time. A player cannot run away with it. The ball comes quickly, and the player must answer quickly. This teaches teamwork. One person passes, another person sets, another person attacks. The team must move like one body, one heart, one idea. As the years passed, the game became more organized. People wrote clearer rules. Courts became more standard. Teams became more serious. The ball became better too. In 1900, a special ball was made for volleyball. It was lighter and easier to play with. This helped the game grow even more. Then came an important idea. A team should touch the ball only 3 times before sending it back over the net. This rule helped shape the modern game. Now there was a clear pattern. First came the pass, then came the set, then came the attack. 3 touches, 3 moments, 3 chances to work together. The pass is often the beginning. The ball comes from the other side. It may come fast, it may come high, it may come low. A player bends the knees, brings the arms together, and passes the ball up. This looks simple, but it takes practice. A good pass is like a calm answer to a difficult question. Then comes the set. The setter is like the mind of the team. The setter watches everything. Where is the ball? Where are the other players? Where is the open space? With soft hands, the setter sends the ball high near the net. It is an invitation. It says, "Here is your chance." Then comes the attack. A player runs, jumps, and hits the ball over the net. For a moment, the player seems to fly. The whole gym watches. The ball moves fast. Maybe it hits the floor. Maybe the other team saves it. And the story of the point continues. This is why volleyball feels alive. The ball must not sleep. The ball must not stop. Every second matters. But the game is not only power. It is also patience. It is timing. It is trust. A small touch can be as important as a strong hit. In many countries, schools began to teach volleyball. Children played it in gym class. Friends played it after school. Workers played it in clubs. Soldiers played it too. During the 20th century, volleyball became a truly international sport. It was easy to learn at the beginning, but difficult to master. That made people love it more. In 1947, an important organization was created. It was called the International Volleyball Federation. Many people know it today as the FIVB. This organization helped countries play with the same rules. It helped create competitions. It helped volleyball become bigger, stronger, and more connected. Soon, national teams began to rise. Players trained harder. Coaches studied the game more deeply. They looked for new ways to pass, new ways to set, new ways to attack. Volleyball became faster. The jumps became higher. The blocks became stronger. The quiet gym game from Holyoke was becoming a world sport. A block is one of the most exciting parts of volleyball. A player stands near the net. The attacker jumps on the other side. The blocker jumps too. Hands reach above the net. For one short moment, both players meet in the air. The ball hits the hands, and maybe it falls back down. The crowd shouts. The team smiles. It is a moment of courage. But volleyball also needs defense. Sometimes the ball comes like lightning. A defender dives to the floor. One hand reaches out. The ball jumps back up. The point is not over. Everyone moves again. In volleyball, a team can be almost finished, and then save the point at the last second. This is part of its magic. In 1964, volleyball reached one of the biggest stages in sport. It became an official Olympic sport at the Tokyo Olympic Games. This was a great moment. The game that began in a small American gym was now watched by people around the world. Men's teams played. Women's teams played. The world saw volleyball as a serious and beautiful sport. Tokyo was a fitting place for this moment. Japan loved volleyball deeply. Japanese teams trained with great discipline. They showed speed, control, and teamwork. The women's team from Japan became especially famous. Many people admired their careful training, their fast movement, and their strong spirit. After the Olympic debut, volleyball continued to grow. More countries built strong teams. The Soviet Union, Japan, Poland, Brazil, Cuba, the United States, Italy, China, and many others became important names in volleyball history. Each country brought its own style. Some teams were powerful, some were very fast, some were calm and clever. The game became richer because of them. Volleyball was also changing outside the gym. On beaches, people began to play a smaller version of the game. Sand made movement harder. The sun was bright. The wind changed the ball's path. Usually, only 2 players stood on each side. This meant every player had to do everything: pass, set, attack, block, and defend. Beach volleyball felt different. It was still volleyball, but it had a new personality. It was open, sunny, and free. Players had to read the wind. They had to move through soft sand. They had to trust their partner completely. There was no place to hide. Every point asked for courage and clear thinking. In 1996, beach volleyball became an Olympic sport at the Atlanta Games. Once again, volleyball had found a new stage. People loved the speed, the sand, the music, and the strong teamwork between 2 partners. Indoor volleyball and beach volleyball became like 2 members of the same family, different but connected. Today, volleyball is played almost everywhere. It is played in big arenas with bright lights. It is played in school gyms. It is played on beaches. It is played in parks. It is played by children, by students, by professional athletes, and by friends who only want to have fun. But the heart of volleyball is still simple. The ball comes to you. You do your best. You help your team. You send the ball back. You make one good touch, then another, then another. This is why volleyball is more than a sport. It is a lesson in life. In life, we also receive difficult balls sometimes. A problem comes suddenly. A change comes quickly. We may not feel ready, but like a volleyball player, we can stay calm. We can bend our knees. We can look up. We can make one good touch. We can pass the moment to someone we trust. Volleyball teaches us that no one wins alone. A great attacker needs a good setter. A good setter needs a good passer. A strong team needs every person. Even the quiet player matters. Even the small save matters. Even one soft touch can change the whole point. It also teaches us not to give up too early. Sometimes the ball looks impossible to save. It is moving away. It is almost on the floor. But a player runs, reaches, and touches it just in time. The ball rises again. The team gets another chance, and sometimes that one chance becomes victory. Imagine William Morgan today. Imagine him walking into a modern volleyball arena. The lights are bright. The crowd is loud. The players jump high. The ball moves faster than he ever dreamed. He might be surprised. He might smile. Because the idea he made for simple exercise became a world language. This language does not need many words. A pass says, "I am here." A set says, "I trust you." An attack says, "I will try." A block says, "I am ready." A save says, "We are not finished yet." This is why people from many countries can play together, even when they do not speak the same language. From Holyoke to Tokyo, from school gyms to Olympic courts, from wooden floors to warm sand, volleyball has traveled a long and beautiful road. It began with a teacher, a net, and a simple dream. It became a sport of speed, friendship, teamwork, and hope. And now, when you see a volleyball fly over a net, you can remember this story. You can remember William Morgan in that cold winter gym. You can remember the first players trying a new game. You can remember the name changing from Mintonette to volleyball. You can remember the Olympic lights, the beach sand, and the millions of people who still play today. Thank you for listening, my friends. I hope this story helped you learn English in a calm and happy way. You did a wonderful job today. Every story you hear makes your English stronger, little by little, step by step. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, write a comment, and subscribe for more gentle English stories. What story would you like to hear next? I will be happy to tell it to you.